Welcome on in, everyone. We are back, the cousins. This is Beard Talk with Kyle and Joe. I'm Kyle.
What is going on, guys? My name is Joe.
Welcome back to the channel for another review. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate every second you take to follow our channel, watch our videos. It means the world. So today we have a follow-up review for you for Sphinx. Now, we'll go ahead and throw it up top so you can click on that link, but gosh, it was a little while ago now. It feels like at least a year. Who knows? 6 months to a year. We did a review for Sphinx originally. So today we're not going to focus as much in feel and beard, but we're going to talk about some new scents that Sphinx has to offer, along with his newer butter.
Right. So Sphinx is a company that is ran by a gentleman by the name of Muhammad, who is an outstanding, nice, genuine individual, very well respected within the beard community. Later on, we may show you actually a plaque that he sent to us along with a few other reviewers that have touched on his products before. Just a guy that just shows a lot of appreciation to what content creators do, and just overall appreciation for really anybody that shows interest and enjoyment into his products. So something that's very cool. But before we begin, make sure you've hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying the content that we are putting out for you. And please spread the word. We want to make sure that we're hitting as many beards as we possibly can. Before we dive into these products, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this intro. All right, guys, so let's dive right into these products. So we have 5 different scents to talk to you about and 2 separate products. So starting off with the prices, for a 1 ounce bottle of oil, you're looking at $25. And for a 3.3 ounce jar of butter, you are looking at $25. So right off the bat, I will say, I think for the butter, I think the price is fair. For me, I think the price on the oil is a little high. Usually when you start getting those 1 ounce bottles of oils that are going over $20, and this is just my personal opinion, I always start to get a little leery on it, because I feel like there are so many good products out there that are way under $20 that I feel like would do just as good. That's just my take on it. Kyle, do you have a quick?
Yeah, I agree with you. I certainly would pay it if it's a product that I really like, and obviously we'll get into that. But yeah, it's on the pricier side, but it certainly isn't a price tag that's going to necessarily completely scare me away.
Right. Okay, cool. So on the presentation piece of it, we'll start off with the butter, and this is what the jar looks like, and we'll see if it focuses for me.
There we go.
Perfect. And as you can see, I mean, the labeling, the jar, I mean, everything is just freaking awesome on it. Yeah. I love how clean it is. I really love the black labeling and the white lettering. That's the lid right there. I mean, just good advertisement of Sphinx itself. And I mean, dude, I love it. I think it's slick. And then it matches the oil very, very well on that as well. The only thing that I don't like is on the butter here is it doesn't give you the scent profile at all. I wish that was something that was on the label, especially because there is definitely room on there for it to be there. And then for the oil, what is unique but also kind of a pain is this little tag here. While it gives you the scent name, and I don't know if okay, there you go. It also gives you on the back the profile. Now, while that looks very slick, Kyle's going to explain to you why that's also kind of a pain in the butt as well.
Right. And then before I get into that real quick, Joe, I don't know if you're aware, on the butter, the name is on the lid.
Okay, so the name is there, but still not the scent profile.
Not the scent profile, right. I just want to make sure that we were clear on that. Okay, so presentation-wise, I agree with everything Joe said. Sphinx is killing it. The labels are so slick. It's the oil, it's the water-resistant labels. They look amazing. So when I first got them, the tag on the oil, I was like, this is really cool. This is something different, and I do like it.
Yeah.
But At the time, I had a 1.5-year-old who's now about, or almost 3, really. He got in here one day. I usually have the door closed, usually even locked. He got in here one day. It's the first thing he saw. He pulled the tags off every single one. So what we actually had to do is months ago when we first got these products, Joe was over. We were, I think we were eating Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and Joe sniffed and kind of did a comparison and then wrote it on a piece of tape. Again,
Yeah.
most people are going to watch this and go, well, keep it out of your kids' hands. I completely agree. And I usually do a really good job at that. He just happened to get in here one day and it happened that quick. So I don't want to say it's feedback because it really stands out and it's really cool. I'm not saying you need to change them or anything, but that did happen. So that's my only gripe. Probably isn't the best word, but
I would, yeah, and I would
say.
say at the very least, if you don't want to put the entire scent profile on the label, at the very least, put the scent name on it. So
Right.
that way, if you need to refer back, all you got to do is go to the site to be able to do that. I mean, yeah, I would say that. I mean, for me, that is honestly some feedback that I would give Muhammad. Put the scent
Yeah.
name on there if you don't want to do the
Right. Yeah. That seems like
just in case somebody does lose this, because it's not like it's not really tight on there and it's stretchy. You can lose it, you know, in any sort of
right.
way. So
Yeah, putting just the name of the
nitpicky
scent
stuff.
on there seems like
Nitpicky
a
stuff
perfect
there.
middle ground. Was
Yeah.
that?
No, I was just gonna say it's all nitpicky stuff, but still, I think you know people who are presentation snobs, kind of like how we are. I think they would appreciate maybe that extra little step in case they were to lose that label. All right.
Got it.
All right, so let's dive right into these scents here. And we're going to start off with what's called the Sphinx Signature. And I'm not going to show these off because literally all the bottles look identical. There's no differences among each profile. So the Sphinx Signature consists of tuberose, fruity, jasmine, and cinnamon. So right off the bat, I'm getting that. I'm getting the cinnamon because you know cinnamon is a very strong scent, but I really felt like Muhammad did a good job of balancing it and still toning it out. However, though the cinnamon does make its presence known really well. The other profile that really stands out a lot, that balance is really good with the cinnamon to me, is that jasmine. So it really is a nice floral type cologne scent, and that cinnamon just adds that nice like little spice to it to maybe man it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love this one. This one's arguably my favorite scent by Sphinx. It's
Oh,
so tough.
strong.
Sphinx has a distinct scent to him. Sphinx and Mohammed from Sphinx does amazing things with his scents that really no other company do. They're so unique. They're so strong.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say, every single one of these I'm getting at least 10 hours out of, which is really impressive. But anyways, going right back to Sphinx Signature, I really like it. You do pick up the cinnamon, but if you're not a cinnamon lover like I'm not, I still like it. That fruity balance, different things in there really work well.
Right. Yeah. It's not that typical, like cinnamon's always like featured in fall type scents and it
Right.
like all
Nothing like that.
flowers. It's not like that at all. It adds that nice, just little unique spice factor to that floral, which is really cool. So
Right.
a very good kind of you know floral type cologne scent if you're into those. So the next one that we're going to talk about is called Joy. And that is caramel, tonka bean, vanilla, and cacao pod. So cacao pod, for those who don't know, is basically chocolate. There is a significant difference between cocoa and cacao that you know I recently did you know a little bit of research on that I still need to read more about, so I won't go into it. But basically, it's like a chocolate inspired type scent. So when I smell this one, obviously when you get caramel and chocolate, you're gonna get a lot of sweetness to it, and that's exactly what you know what I get out of that. Go ahead and give that a smell, and then yeah, you know the caramel really sticks out to me, and I really feel like the vanilla and the tonka bean comes out quite a bit too. This is one of those Sphinx scents where I feel like you know a lot of their scents are very much cologne inspired, if not like all of them, but this is one where I feel like I'm really able to get a lot of the individual profiles on them, which is not common for a lot of you know cologne type scents. So this one is, is unique in its own right because you can pick out those each individual ones. It is a tough wear, something to wear a lot because of the sweetness to it. I wish there was something to kind of tone it down just a bit, but still overall it's pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. See, I take this one a little differently. I think this is not a normal sweet smell. This is like a Sphinx sweet smell. When I first smell this one, I don't think sweet. I think of a lot of different scent profiles in there, and I do think it's calmed down. And it could be because all the other ones are really on the strong side, and this one is more subtle for Sphinx.
Okay.
But if you want to try Sphinx and you want something more subtle, give this one a try. Again, to me, it's on the sweeter side, but it's definitely not a typical sweet scent to my nose.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, so the next one is actually somewhat sort of a similar scent profile, but maybe just a little less complex, and that is the Royal Cacao, and that just consists of cacao, which is that that chocolate that I was explaining before, vanilla and caramel. So I mean that's basically all it is. Chocolate is normally sweet. Vanilla, is sweet, and usually caramel is sweet. So again, this is another sweet scent. I pretty much have the same thing to say about it as I did the other one. While the sweetness is good for a short period of time, it does kind of wear out its welcome for me a little bit. If this is going to be a scent profile, which again, all of these are in that 10 to 12 hour range, I kind of feel like I need some sort of change rather than just have literally 10 to 12 hours of just pure sweetness. And when it hits that like 6 to 7 hour mark, I'm like, all right, let's change it up a little bit. So just my feedback on that.
Right. Yeah. And as you can tell, the difference between Joe and I prefer a more subtle scent. Joe prefers a more stronger scent. To me, I love this one for a sweeter smell. Again, I don't consider it overall sweet. I consider it sweet for the Sphinx profile. What I like about this one a lot is I'm a big vanilla fan. I pick out more vanilla in this one than I did in the last one. So it's really more of a calmer scent to me, but I really like this one. This one's, again, arguably one of my favorites.
Okay, cool. All right, and then we have the honey tobacco scent, which is one of my favorite scents. If you guys have not seen, and we'll go ahead and we'll post another tag up there of our top 5 tobacco scents. This was the scent that inspired me to tell Kyle, let's go ahead and make a top 5 tobacco scent. And this is none other than honey tobacco. And if you haven't figured out, there is honey in there and there's tobacco, but you also have tonka bean and cashmere in here. And man, dude, this is just one. I mean, it was my number one tobacco scent. I love the complete balance that you have in this scent profile. You have that earthiness from that tobacco leaf, and then you just get a lot of other good factors, the sweetness from the honey, and then that tonka bean kind of just adds a nice little element to it as well. I don't know exactly what cashmere is, but I still feel like when I'm like trying to picture that like other little aspect of it, that really uplifting floral maybe type vibe to it, I'm thinking that's probably the cashmere in it, and I think it's a nice touch to it. Easily my favorite tobacco scent that's out right now.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm not crazy about tobacco scents. They're a little too strong for me. They're a little too like tickle the nose hairs for me. Someone in the comments laughed at my analogy when I described that in that top 5 tobacco video. Here's why I like this. To me, it's very subtle, but more than subtle, it's very smooth. I don't know if it's a combination of honey and tobacco, but it's very smooth. It doesn't hit my nose or my beard like a typical tobacco scent. So like Joe said, he obviously thinks very highly of it. If you're a tobacco fan, give this one a try because it's a totally different spin on a true tobacco scent, in my opinion.
Right. All right. So the last scent that I'm going to talk to you about is a scent that, Kyle, I don't think you've had a chance to really dive into too much. So I'm going to quickly talk about it. And that is the La Fraîcheur, if I'm saying that right. And that is a profile that consists of pineapple, musk, blackcurrant, and ambergris. So I tried my hardest to look directly into the camera, but spoiler, I was actually looking at the website. This is a perfect example of why I would love the profile on the jar there. When you have these complex cologne inspired scents, I just think it would be a really good idea to be able to just have that right there with you. But man, this is probably out of the like 8 Sphinx scents that we actually have. This is my number one right here. I love the freshness that you get from the pineapple. And then that musk just adds such a unique balance to it with that musky and that sweetness. And then you got the birch and that black currant for the little spice factor in it. I absolutely love wearing this at night, but it's also easily something you can wear during the day. It's definitely a true hybrid scent, but man, it's just fresh, it's musky, it's manly, and yet calming. I mean, it just has like literally everything in it. Easily my favorite scent. If anybody needed a recommendation, I would easily refer anybody to this scent first. So yep. So that is all the scents. So let's quickly talk about the butter and how it felt in our beards. The butters were not out yet when we first did our review. So we will kind of dive into the feel and beard just a little bit regarding the butters. And as you can see here, this is it's a nice poured butter. You got that very nice white color to it there. And let me go ahead and scoop some out. And as I'm scooping, what I'm noticing is it's dense. It does have some weight to it for sure. And I'm gonna put my finger up to the camera there. Okay, see, but it does melt down pretty easily, I would say. For as heavy as it feels, just a couple swipes, and there you go. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put some in my hair because I already have some products in my beard. And now, the one thing that I did notice, as quickly as it was to melt down, when I'm working it into my beard, overall, it felt good. My beard felt really, really good while I had it in my beard. I will say trying to get it into my beard itself was kind of a little bit of a different experience because of the weight and the density in it. I actually found it to be a little too heavy, where I noticed that this is one of those butters that pulled out a little bit more hair than any other butter that I would put into my beard. Now, natural shedding is something that is what it is. It's natural. It happens. The only thing that with this butter is that there are sometimes I feel when I'm putting it in that I'm unnecessarily yanking some beard hairs out. By all means, it's only a couple, but it's still something that's notable and something that I do feel like I definitely need to share.
Gotcha. Yeah, good take. So yeah, I'm right there with you. First of all, I really like this butter. I really do. It is definitely a poured butter. When you feel it, when you're kind of taking it out of the jar, like Joe said, it's dense, it's heavier. The nice thing though, just like Joe said, it does melt down really easy in your hand. I did not notice it being a little harder in beard, and I think here's why. Joe typically does not use heat. I use heat every single day when I do my beard. That's going to get all the tangles, all the knots out of your beard. Definitely believe you when you say that, Joe, because it is a denser butter, even though it does melt really nicely in your hands, but made my beard really soft. I actually enjoyed you wearing this one during the day a little more, only for the way it styled my beard. It gave my beard more volume, which I really liked. Scent wise, the scent, just like the oil, it, in my opinion, is very strong. Not too strong for me, but I will say when I wore the oil and the butter matching scent during the day, it was really strong. It was to the point where like my wife would walk past me and she would say it smells good, but it's definitely on the stronger side.
Yeah. And then just really quick, because I forgot to touch on the ingredients. You have shea butter, cacao butter, mango butter, sorry, a little hard to read. Cacao butter, almond butter, jojoba oil, argan oil, almond oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil, vitamin E oil, coconut oil, and essential oil. So a lot of good products in there.
Yep.
Obviously, shea butter is that like number one butter that you can really have in a nighttime or beard butter in general. Overall the feeling is good. I mean, when I woke up the next day, my beard felt great. And yeah, Kyle, you're absolutely right with the scent. When I woke up the next morning, I still smelled it as if I had just a
Oh
pot.
yeah.
So
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
how
Yeah.
strong that you're looking at.
Right. Some people love that. Some people
Yeah.
don't. So that's our spin on it.
Yeah,
We're
I love it. I love
aligned
it.
on that.
So, you know, I have no problem with that whatsoever. So,
Right.
and then, yeah, just a quick reminder, you guys, I know we didn't touch too much on the feel and beard of the oil in this video, but we will, again, we do have a video that is already out that we touch a lot more into detail about the feeling on the oil. So please make sure you give that video a shot. Kyle, do you have anything else?
No, just I will throw the link to Sphinx in the description below. If you've tried Sphinx, let us know what you think. Mainly, did you like it? Yes or no? But how did you feel about the scents? Because they're awesome, but they're pretty strong. So I'm curious to see everyone's thoughts on that. That is all the time that we have for you guys today. As always, keep it growing.
And we'll talk to you at the next one. Cousins out. Hey, you think for the video, I should hold this up the entire time?
That would be really cool. Why do you get to keep that at your house?
Because I'm the better cousin, duh.